Now this is the old version I'm talking about. I've extracted it, and let me explain some things here. If you look into the tool folder, you see different files which make the entire tool, and there's a folder here called mtkdb folder. That's mtk database folder. So when you open it, you can see some models already, as in the database files of some devices are already in the folder. We can see Techno A6, AX8, that's Phantom 8, I think, Techno C8, C9, C87, K9, LO7, Y2, P701, F2. But the device we want to work on right now is Techno F1, right? And we can't find the database file here. So this is what I'm really saying here. So let's try to run the tool, then we continue. I'm having an error. It said the tool doesn't start correctly. Okay, I think it's from the extraction part, but I still have another one open here. So what this folder really mean here, that is the database folder, is that you have to load the AP and BP databases in order to fix IMEI of a certain device. So in that case, if you can't find your model here, that means you have to provide. Oh, F1 is already there. This F1, that's in the new one I just opened right now because I imported it. So I'm going to explain how you can find the database files. That's if you are using the old version. Remember, if you are using the tool, as in the new version of the tool, you don't need to find anything like database. All you need to do is just select your model, select the SIM type, that is it 1 SIM, 2 SIM, or 3 SIM cards. You select the CPU, either Qualcomm, SPD or MTK. Then you will see an option that says download. So when you just click on download, it's going to download attestation key directly from the server. Then you can proceed with what you want to do. You don't need to go and look for AP and BP file in case if you don't have the firmware, because if your model isn't in the list here, you have to get the factory file. When you have the original firmware, you are going to see all these database files we are talking about inside the firmware. So if you have the firmware which contains the databases file, you are good to go. But if you don't have that, it's either you go to the internet, download the complete file, that is, you download the original firmware, get the database file from the firmware. Or if you can't find the original firmware which have the databases and the other things you need, that means you have to get the original version of these two, which you don't need anything like database. It's just to download the attestation key. The two, when you just click on download, is going to source the attestation key from the server and then store it on your computer. All these things will be explained in detail on the new tool tutorial. So let's proceed with this. So the tool I just run pops a message here which says F4 Pro. That's the recent device the tool found is for F4. So it's now telling us that it doesn't exist in device info list. Do you want to configure the project table? So let me just say no and skip. So this is the tool interface here. You can see there is a brand and there is a model. So in brand, you're going to select, our brand is Techno, and then the model is F1. So you scroll and look for Techno F1. As you can see, if you see this model, the other device, that's Phantom 9, the model is AB7, and there is nothing like AB7 here. This simply means this old version cannot fix the AB7. That's why we have to switch to new version in order to fix it. So when we select F1, we say connect. So this only telling me to connect, to turn off the device and connect phone, only because I've already configured, as in the F1 database is already in the folder and it has been configured, and I also use it before this video to try the phone and make sure everything works perfect. So in this case, I'm going to cancel this and start everything from the scratch for you guys to see. So it can't find any COM port, and then everything fell. You come to device table here, settings, then you go to device table. It's going to open up a table. So when you check the table here, you can see Techno F1 and the F1 AP and BP file are already selected. That's why you see the tool doesn't ask me to configure and so on. So let's say, let me remove the device, let me delete it. I think, okay, you can see now there's nothing like F1. And then let's try. When you click on connect, you see F1 doesn't exist in device table because I've already deleted it in the table. So you go to settings, you have to go and configure it again. So when you come to the table, you come to an empty line like this, then you click your right click, go to add model. Then you can see the brand here is not giving us Techno, it's giving us Villion. I think it's another model. I've never heard of that one. So you double click on it in order to get the full option. You can see if you single click, nothing will happen. So you have to double click it, and you see a small drop down here. When you drop down, you see the all model: Spice, Oraimo, Itel, Infinix, Dolphin. So you select the brand, that which is Techno. You come to model here, you double click also, then you drop down, you see all the models. You drop down and select the model. Our model here is Techno F1. The CPU is MTK. We don't have to change. You can see MTK and SPD. So is it smartphone or no? So it's smartphone, we have to leave it. So this one is SIM slot here. You double click, drop down, is it 1 SIM, 2 SIM cards, 3 SIM cards, or 4 SIM cards? Techno F1 is 2 SIM cards, so we select 2 SIM cards. So here is AP and BP, then BP and DP. This is what I was explaining the other time when I opened the database folder in the tool. When I was explaining these things. So let's say we are working on a device which the model is listed, that is, the tool supports the model of that device, and then we couldn't get the databases in these folders. So the thing is that we should get the original firmware. I think I have original firmware for Techno F1. Let me check my files. Oh yeah, I have it, but not on these drives I have here. So if you, okay, yeah, it's here. Okay, I have it here. As you can see, inside my firmware folder, I have a folder inside the firmware that says database. So when I open it, you can see this is the AP database and this is the BP database. So I can load, let's say, at the absence of database in this folder, if I didn't have F1 in this folder, I'm going to use the one that comes with my firmware. So let me use the one in my firmware. So this is it, Techno F1 database. This is it. So the first one I'm going to load is AP. Oh, my battery is running out. Is the AP. So I'll just come on it and double click. You can see F1 underscore AP. Then on the BP, I'll double click on it and then I'll select the BP. So then okay. So the tool is going to load it automatically. So when you select that, you just click on connect and the phone will tell you turn off your device, then plug USB. So I'm going to skip the video here because I'm actually having, my battery is running down, and you know the situation of Nigeria here. So when I have electricity back, I'm going to come to this exact point we stopped now, then we continue from there. Now we'll come back. This is where we stopped the other time and my PC goes off. So when you click on connect device, it said please turn off then plug USB. So this device here, the IMEI is still corrupt, as you can see. So you now turn off the device. It will turn off. So when the phone switch off properly, don't hold down any button, just connect the device. No, it hasn't found the device, so let's do it again. Connect device, then plug USB. Okay, as you can see, the phone will automatically turn on and boot into Meta. So as you can see now, so we got some information here written. Okay, so when the phone is successfully connected, it's going to give you the brand and model. It's going to read out some information from the device and show them on the tool. So like on the top here, there is something like brand, which is Techno, and model is F1. So the IMEI area and the MAC area. So our main focus here is on the IMEI area, not the MAC area, because under the MAC area you can see something like BT MAC, which is the Bluetooth MAC, and the Wi-Fi MAC and the rest. So under the IMEI we can now see, since in the settings, in our table settings, we set the device to be 2 SIM card. That's why we are seeing only 2 fields enabled here, and the other SIM 3 and 4 options are disabled. So what we do now at this moment is that you get the original IMEI. I've already written my own down here, so I'll just copy the SIM 1, I'll paste it here, and then SIM 2, so paste it there. So then start right. You can see we've got the information passed. So let's check the history. So at the first place, which is the index 001, it says warning, please turn off then plug in USB. So that was what we did at the first place. We turn off the device and we connect USB. Then index 002, it says normal, start connecting MTK device. That's when the tool detect a device connected. Then the index 003, under index 003, say normal preloader port. That's when it dictates the preloader port, canal port. And then on index 005 it says passed. So that's when the MTK device got connected successfully. And then the under index 006, it read the chip, that's the MD5 of the device. Then under index 007, it verified the MD5 to make sure the IMEI is the same thing with the that's the database file we loaded is the same thing with the device. So the index 007 passed, that is, it matches the database. Then index 008, that's the build number of the device, that's the AP version. Then try to query help bench flag information. Then general error, which it fell on index 0010. Well, we don't need that also. Then Bluetooth, it readed successfully. Wi-Fi, it readed successfully. Get from product brand successfully, and other error. All these information, we don't need them, but we are just like checking them. This where the real things just go down. It switched the phone to modem side communication, and then it start initializing the BP and the DP file here. That's index 0031. Then index 0032, we have something like complete initializing MTK BP and DP file. That means it initialized the files, the database file, to make sure everything is going okay, and everything is okay, so that we won't find ourselves in a situation whereby after fixing everything we'll now be stuck with no service or something like that. So that's why it has to initialize and make sure everything is okay. Then it reads the PSN factory need to write SN, that's by the factory and everything. We don't need that. So as you can see, index 0036, there is something like 0035 and 0036. It readed the IMEI on the database that is on the device already, the current one. That's when we have the invalid ones, and or maybe the one we doesn't need, those one with a bunch of zeros here and here. So it read. Then the version, as in the build version of the database, the chip type. Then that's when it finished reading the device information. Then under index 0040 and index 0041, that's when it write the same one IMEI, and then index 0041 it read it to make sure it replaced the other wrong one. Then index 0042 and index 0043, that's when it write the second IMEI, and then under index 0043 it confirms and make sure everything goes normal. So when it finished writing everything, we under index 0046 we got the successful message saying write IMEI successful. Then the final message, which is disconnect communication with BP side, that is, it disconnect itself from the database side in the device when it finished. Then switch to AP side communication, it back up the NVRAM data and so on. So when we finish everything, you can see the phone is still stuck in meta mode, which is still showing techno. So in order to disconnect the device, we just come here, we can see something, a sign of USB that said disconnect device. So we just click on it and then disconnect and shut down successfully. Now we'll be expecting our phone to shut down and disconnect. So let's power on the device and see if everything goes okay. So in order to make the video short, I'm going to skip all this. Okay, let me just try and see. If it's going to be long, then I'll fast forward or skip it to the home screen. Okay, it boot off quick. So let's confirm the IMEI now. Okay, check it out. So everything is okay. So thank you for watching the video. Make sure you do like the video and subscribe to my channel to be updated whenever we post a new video, and always visit my website www.ourshopfix.com to check out more premium files and free files with other tools and everything. See you next time.